Hey there guys, it's ChaosMaelstrom time, and welcome back to more Pokémon SoulSilver. In the last episode, we explored around Goldenrod City, the biggest city in all of Johto, and we got a nice and shiny new bicycle to ride around on. And now we've done that, there's one more thing left for us to do here in Goldenrod before we can make plot progression. We are not ready for this! We can take down most of the gym without too much trouble, but there is one very substantial and mean roadblock in there that we are not ready for. So instead, I'd like to go north of Goldenrod City, since we can actually go a fair bit of the ways north before we're required to, Oh! Are you the guy? Yes! He's the pictures taken instantaneously guy, the photograph man! This guy will show up occasionally, usually facing north on most routes, and he will take a pic. Deviled Egg is just scrapped behind me. Anyway, these pictures will be sent to your PC, so we can look at them later in our adventure. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, also, I'd like to point out, I trained up Hornicles quite a bit off screen. He is now up to snuff with the rest of the party. I'd like to draw special attention to his attack stat. 45! Compared to somebody like Lil Rule, he's still at 31, and he's 2 levels above him. You don't screw with Heracross's attack stat! And Lil Rule even has a nature that boosts his attack stat. Imagine if Hornicles had that. Yeah. Now you can see why I said you would be blessed if you had an adamant-natured Hornicles. Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. I completely lost track of what I was saying. Not ready for the gym. There's a bit of a ways we can go up here, and so while we're on the subject of what we can do going forward, we're gonna have a few required battles up ahead, so instead of y'all just watching me do some awkward commentary while sifting through that, how about I go over some of the Pokemon encounters we could have had up until this point? There are lots of Pokemon that enjoy exclusively hanging out in trees. At this point, there are basically 4 exclusively you can find this way. Apom has all the good makings for a good physical sweeper. And in Generation 4, it has a new evolution that can accentuate those strengths even further. With Baton Pass for quick escape and buffing allies, it can be a pretty tricky opponent when used correctly. Of course, its natural learn set for moves isn't anything special, being pretty lackluster in a lot of areas. And again, it's just a normal type, so there's lots of other competition out there for Ambipom. Pineco, oh Pineco. Or is it Pineco? Pinico? Whatever. This little cone here is one of the best defensive walls in the game. And not just with its own stats, but with its typing. Fortress is all about being a wall that can set up against your opponents and get rid of any other entry hazards that might cause trouble. Rapid Spin, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, it's got it all, even learning Stealth Rock through TM. It's got its weaknesses though. You hit this thing with an Ember, it goes down in 1 hit. Fire type is the bane of Bug Steel. Its special defense and speed aren't good either, so those are some weaknesses that you could hammer too. Plus, it's not going to be doing much fighting on its own, it's mostly setting up for others. Really, the best it can do against fighting other Pokemon itself is by blowing itself up. Heracross. Where do I even begin? That attack stat! You don't touch that attack stat. Other Pokemon might have it just as good or even a little better, but Heracross's attack stat is nothing to be sneezed at. And it has lots of physical move potential too, learning so many, though usually pretty late in level. Its speed is decent too, so it can usually one-hit KO enemies without getting in too much trouble. Of course, that's where its weaknesses do show, as the flying type can basically destroy it in 1 hit. Plus, Heracross has no real answer for ghost types. If it can learn Night Slash or Shadow Claw, maybe? But aside from that, you're in kind of a rough spot.
it is time to execute the new order and introduce Execute. Execute can be pretty good for a team, both when it comes to walling and hammering enemies with special attacks. It's got some great special attack stats and fair bulk. It can be a real menace by draining your opponents to death with Leech Seed and Giga Drain. Of course, it's got a lot of weaknesses being in Grass type, Bug being especially bad. Plus, that Leaf Stone ain't gonna be easy to get in this game. There are tons of places you can fish around the map now that we have the Old Rod, and lots of different Pokemon you can encounter, one of which being Poliwag. It starts speedy but gets a little slower as it evolves to trade off for some power. Both its evolutions have some decent bulk. And also, there's some pretty fun moves that it gets to use that you won't find on a lot of other water types, so maybe the Poliwag line might have what you're looking for. The drawback being, of course, it's difficult to evolve because one requires the Water Stone and the other the King's Rock, which are both going to be unfortunate to use, and also you really don't want to eat up the King's Rock if possible. Also, its abilities don't really complement any of its other draws. Magikarp is magical, albeit not for itself. Magikarp in and of itself is pitifully weak, and because of that it can barely even battle, not even learning an attacking move until it gets to level 15. But when you hit level 20, Gyarados arrives to destroy the scene. Gyarados can become an amazing physical sweeper and can even take physical attacks well, with its Intimidate ability cutting opponents' attacks and decent defense to back it up as well. Buffing up with Dragon Dance makes it impossible to stop in a lot of situations. Just watch out for electric type moves. That is your biggest weakness. Rock type ain't so friendly either. You want a Pokemon that can be maybe on par with Gyarados but don't want to put up with Magikarp? Well, there's another similar Pokemon that might be of interest to you that learns a bit of different moves. The Crabuline is great in that respect, gaining some great attack and defense as well as fair speed. Plus, you'd be surprised at how many moves it can learn to deal with all different sorts of types, making it a surprisingly good coverage teammate. Sadly, the Crabuline ends up being all bite with not really much buff. You hit it with a good special attack, it's not gonna like that. Goldeen, you're okay. You're a physical attacking water type Pokemon, so that's a draw with the physical special split now assisting you. It also learns some fair coverage moves. Poison Jab and Mega Horn can really ruin a grass type's day. Of course, being just a water type with some lackluster stats, it is outclassed by many at the end of the day. And most of its abilities are situational and unhelpful in a lot of places. For showing up everywhere, Tentacool is surprisingly really good. You want a speedy tank that can slough off special attacks like your breakfast? Tentacool's got you covered. It even has some fair stats in other areas. It's great at setting up support with Toxic Spikes and Barrier. It's just a really solid special wall that can fit into really any team that doesn't already have a really good dedicated water and poison types yet. Unfortunately, with the arrival of Generation 4, the physical special split also hurts it quite a bit, since physical electric and psychic type moves now exist, whereas those types could only try to hurt Tentacool through its special defense. And sadly, it's not the greatest for type coverage in and of itself, as its moveset can be pretty predictable. Water and poison moves all over, maybe an Ice Beam. Best left to setting up and walling those special attacks.
Alright, I feel like that should be plenty of time. Another thing that happened in between this episode and last, well, I got a few more people's phone numbers on the previous routes, and yeah, that's essentially what really happened. But, phone numbers, I also, had a few more calls from Joey, so that was funny. But now, the real reason why I wanted to go so far as to come out here today. Okay, yeah, as I thought, we couldn't do this yet, but whatever, we'll get around to that eventually. The more important thing I wanted to come out here for. Today is Tuesday. That means the bug catching contest is on today. The rules are simple. Using one of your Pokemon, catch a bug-type Pokemon to be judged. Would you like to give it a try? Yes! Okay, so we can only use the first Pokemon in our party, and the rest of our Pokemon are left behind. We have 20 sports balls, and it says the person who gets the strongest bug Pokemon is the winner. The strongest being a very objective term. Alright. But yeah, we're given the opportunity to come out here and search for wild bug-type Pokemon in the national park. We'll be coming to explore this area in earnest in a little bit. But we can find a whole lot of interesting bug-type Pokemon out here. Least of all is this Weedle. I definitely feel like it would be a good idea to at least beat you up. Let's go ahead and do that. So I can get some more of that wonderful EXP. But yeah, there are some Pokemon that can only be found in the wild during the bug catching contest. We'll probably run into some of them here. Who knows? Only one way to find out. Well, we gotta survive that first of all. Alright, there we go. The Weedle is down. Okay, I'm gonna be wasting time if I do that to every single Pokemon I have. Why can I not use my bag items? Okay, I guess that's one thing I forgot. I remember there being some sort of stupid thing that adds on to the difficulty. I guess this was it. Well, that doesn't mean I can use them here either. Shoot. Huh. Alright, well, I should at least try to catch something. I mean, I don't need to catch something, I guess, but generally that is what I'm supposed to be doing here. Alright, let's try again. Lots of interesting bugs out today. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, if you get poisoned, that's basically it. Because as soon as you're all your Pokemon faint, you're done. And since we only have one Pokemon, we gotta make it count. Okay. Guess we'll go ahead and do this. I mean, I get why they don't want you to use items while this is going on, but still, it's a dumb restriction. Alright, at least we caught something. I doubt this is going to be enough to win the contest, but it's something. And I do think we get to keep all the Pokemon that we catch. The only way to know for certain what all... I don't know which one we're judged on. I guess it might be... Oh! Yeah, you can also find the version-exclusive Pokemon that will only appear in the wild and other places here. Like, Caterpie is usually a Hard Gold exclusive, but you can be found during the bug catching contest on the opposing version as well. Come on, Mume, please. I need you to cooperate with me here. Yeah, as you can imagine, this will get much easier once we actually get stronger Pokemon to deal with this. And, you know, don't get screwed over by dumb things like just running into worms all the time. Alright. I need to check to make sure what exactly happens when you catch multiple Pokemon, because I forget. Alright. And it was added to the Pokedex. Swap Caterpie the Weedle. Caterpie is generally hard to find, so sure. Now, I forget if all the Pokemon you count have a chance of winning the contest, but... Okay, this is getting ridiculous. I know that there are more interesting bugs here. And I've wasted all my energy on the weaker ones, so that's a bad sign of things to come. Here we go! We'll have a good chance of winning the contest if we can beat this guy up. However, Things are not looking good right now. Yes, keep spamming focus. Mume, for the love of God! Finally, something happened. Okay. I'm gonna pet this thing once, and then we're gonna start with throwing balls. The longer this thing stays asleep, the better. Oh, I don't know. I might need to go for another peck. I'm not risking it. Okay. Either way, we do get their data added to the Pokédex, so that's a good thing. I was contemplating on whether or not I wanted to use, I pressed the wrong button. Well, shit. I was contemplating on whether or not I wanted to use Beedrill or a different Pokemon, as one of my temporary team members for this playthrough. But then, that's when I remembered, no, I already did that for my Leaf Green Let's Play. I don't need to do that again. And it's a bit too early to consider using Beedrill for an actual mainstay on the team, because Mega Beedrill don't exist yet. So yeah, I was a little conflicted. Alright. Can something that is not a worm or a gnat please show up? I know I already did technically get one of those, and I squandered that opportunity big time because I was sort of just not really paying attention, but I'm sorry. Oh boy. Whatever. It's not like I'm gonna... It was by a fluke I managed to catch that Beedrill anyway. I doubt I'll be able to seriously catch another good bug. Especially if all of these weak ones keep showing up. I don't want a f***ing Caterpie! Or a f***ing Weedle! Caterpie, Weedle, Weedle, Caterpie, White Weedle, 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 Caterpie, 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 Caterpatty, ugh. Well, I guess now we know what evolves into Metapide. Whoa! Okay, this changes things. Focusing energy again, please go to sleep. Okay, we might have a chance again. However, Pinsir's not going to be as easy to catch as a Beedrill, I can tell you that right away. I'm surprised it didn't wake up right away, because that bullshit can totally happen. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is gonna suck! Maybe it won't suck. Ollie, shut up! I'm busy recording! You hear the cat crying in the background, ignore him. He's just hungering for attention. Yes, please keep using Harden. You're definitely so much harder to take down when you use Harden. And, oh god, this might be over. Okay. I don't think that stops the bind, though. I need to catch this thing. Ooh. Please work! Chances are slim, but I need to make this work. 2, 3... Yeah! We have a good shot of letting now! Okay. Do not keep the Caterpie. Do not keep the Caterpie. Okay. That'll do. We'll go ahead and take what we got. Now, prepare to watch this bullshit. This is the... I have no idea how the results are always judged, but it never seems fair. Placing through his bug catcher, Ed, who caught a writhing Pinsir. Not a good sign. Oh, second for a Pinsir. Okay, now who won with a Weedle? Whatever, at least it's something scary. Oh, yay! An Everstone! Okay. No. I might as well have just called it loser, because that's what it did. Anyway, here we are in the national park. This is quite a bit of a different area than from other areas. We'll come back and explore here a little more in depth in just a moment. Right now, I need to get Mume out of here because she's desperately in need of some TLC. Put Deviled Egg out front, let him handle the brunt of things for now. Alright. I need to... Oh, I guess... I remember there being a PC back here. I guess I was wrong. Alright, well, normally there's trainers here in the National Park that you can fight, and the Pokemon that you will find in the grass here are going to be different than the ones you can find in the bug-catching contest. Still, it's stupid how I didn't win. Even though I swear, the freaking stupid system doesn't make sense half the time. Alright, you. I want to talk to you. Pay attention, please. Oops, I have to quit thinking like a teacher all the time. You must be a Pokemon trainer. Since you're working so hard, I want you to have this. The Quick Claw. Let a Pokemon hold that Quick Claw. Sometimes it will strike first during battle. Quick Claw is amazing. Give that to a slow Pokemon and keep your opponent guessing. Sometimes your slow Pokemon will just move first and throw them for a loop. Okay. Do I keep all the Pokemon I catch? I do not. Okay. Whatever. That was worth a shot. Yeah, Future Sean knows the rules better for these things, so he'll have thrown up the rules by now. So you can get a good look at all of those. Alright. There's a few more things I want to do here in the National Park before we leave. A few more trainers that we can, well, I think all the trainers are optional here, so I'm gonna just leave them be. The real area of interest, though, is what lies beyond the borders of the National Park. It's easy to miss where you can walk through the fence there, but you can find a suit bell here! We're gonna go ahead and put that on, Deviled Egg. I already, the better of the two haircut brothers was in town today, so I went ahead and got, Deviled Egg a haircut. It's important to have Deviled Egg's friendship high because I believe its evolution is based on how friendly it is towards you. So that's why I'm putting such emphasis on it. And I believe if we run out all the way around here... No, I don't want to headbutt the tree. TM28 Dig. It's a 2-turn ground type attack. The first turn, the user burrows underground, completely evading almost all attacks. Now in the second turn, you attack and resurface. There are a few attacks that can get through or Dig, mind you, like Earthquake. I believe Magnitude can too. But yeah, Dig isn't perfect, just saying. Alright. And I just want to go a teensy bit further because we're almost at the end of where I want to be. Alright. Getting myself a blue apricorn. That'll turn into a lure ball, which is good for catching fish. We have a required well, maybe not required battle, but pretty much required battle if I want to walk down the main path. There's a way to get around the entirety of the national park and just get on this route normally. Oh, an Abra! You mean one of the Pokemon that's famous for being a pacifist and not really fighting? Oh yeah, you're gonna flash me. Ooh, I'm so scared. Well, guess what? I've got Metronome. I'm not afraid of anything you can do. Sonic Boom! Unless it misses. Okay. Alright, we're gonna need to put a stop to that immediately. You go to bed. While it's asleep, I'm gonna drag out Hornicles, because off-screen, Hornicles learned a lot of moves, one of which being Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is an attack that can never miss. I leaned a lot closer into the screen while I said that, as if to accentuate my point. And also, Hornicles is... I said Heracles, didn't I? Well, I mean, that's the pun of his name, but yeah. Hornicles is also paralyzed right now, so his attack stat gets boosted even higher. That Abra is dead. Okay, level 16. Way to go, Hornicles. And... This is gonna be your entire team, isn't it? Can you do something a little different and aside from flashing me? Oh my god. Okay, we're skipping this. Oh! Hi! You're different! Kadabra is the evolved form of Abra. However, it also still has frail defenses, so... yeah. While it is nasty, nothing Lil Rule can't overcome. And gained a level off of that, too. Wow. But that doesn't surprise me. Kadabra is pretty strong, even for not being fully evolved. Because it's... oh, yeah. Let me guess. You bought me more shit. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and tell her to stop doing that. I know, you're really determined. You'll be okay right away. You've saved up. No. Anytime we want, we can go back and withdraw from our mom if we need more money. But if she's gonna keep on spending like she is, I don't want to get called and interrupted after every battle. And also, I completely walked into this guy on accident. Whoops! Oh, a Tangela! Tangela is an interesting Pokemon. The only pure grass type of Generation 1. Yeah, the most forgettable grass Pokemon of Generation 1, and it's the only one pure of its type. Cheveldag, come on, I know you can do better than that. Well, you can't do better than that when you're fucking sleeping. Okay, Cheveldag, you're done here. You know what? Yeah, Punani is definitely the best choice for this because of what we're about to... right, this was before grass types were immune to powder moves. Okay, well, whatever. As soon as Punani wakes up, you're dead, because I've got the power of acid on my side. Enjoy your growth while you still can. Besides, that's all you're doing, growth and sleep powder. I bet you don't even have a real attacking move, do you? You totally don't! You totally don't even have an attacking move! Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. You dead. Unless, of course, it gets off another sleep powder. Ah! Okay, it did have a move in the form of Absorb, but it doesn't matter since it's dead now. Okay, there we go. Congratulations, I have defeated a child on his way to school. At 8:47 p.m. Kids with school these days are crazy. When I'm reading a textbook and walking, I have to look down, so I notice items on the ground. Next time I find something, I'll give it to you. Good idea! I believe some of the people around here can actually give you really cool stuff like evolution stones and stuff like that. In fact, it's one of the only reliable ways to get evolution stones before, well, basically really far into the game. Remember this tree? Over there is Violet City. We've come a long way. But you are still blocking the way. I'm the flower shop's Floria. Listen, when I sprinkled water on that wiggly tree, it jumped right up. It just has to be a Pokemon. I bet it would be shocked out of disguising itself if you soaked it. Well, good thing I have good old-fashioned Lil Rule here to go ahead and drop some water on it. Go ahead, Lil Rule, do it. Even if you have a water Pokemon who knows any kind of water type move, it doesn't matter. We need a specific item to use on the tree. And to get that item, we have to beat the gym leader of Goldenrod City. And I can't go past that stupid tree because all my Pokemon that know Cut are not in the party right now. Oh, while I'm at it, I should also mention, I picked up a Utilitret from the daycare after my errands that I did earlier, what with going around and doing a few things and finding, mainly to train up Hornicles. And Utilitret went all the way up to level 19 just from sitting in the daycare for a little bit. I also think I want to put you back in my party because you're going to be useful going forward. Alright, who's not going to be useful coming up? I don't feel like I'm going to get much use out of Deviled Egg for a bit, just because he hasn't been really useful and just really slow. He's more of a Pokemon I use for fun rather than for actually trying to be serious, because we're going to need to be serious coming up next time. Because what happens next time? Well, next time on Pokémon SoulSilver. Be prepared for pain and trauma and lots of rolling. See you guys next time. Laters. Oh, God.